Welcome to Crow and Klein here today with a daily energetic check-in. I have 3 piles here for you to choose from. I just feel like we need to have a little fun today, so let's have fun with these readings, okay? So pile number 1, your card of focus. And that is Swan Spirit. And we're going to use the Hocus Pocus deck because that's a fun one. Pile number 2, this is your card of focus. It's White Raven Spirit. And we're going to use the Pulp Tarot. And pile number 3, this is your card of focus, Bobcat Spirit. And we're going to use Deviant Moon. Okay, so pause and ponder. Pick your card, and I will see you in your pile, and let's have some fun. Welcome pile number 1, and your card of focus is Swan Spirit. Okay, and it says time for a deep dive. Okay, so we all know what that means, right? When the swan shows up, it wants you to take a deep dive. Okay, beyond what's really like easily available for you at the surface level. Okay. You might think you know what's best for you right now, but when we plunge into the depths of our awareness, there is self-knowledge there that you're not quite aware of. I mean, that's true for everybody. That's true in every situation, right? So, but as you get to know yourself more intimately, you're going to get to know other people in the same way, right? You'll recognize things in other people that you see in yourself that you might not have even had an awareness around. Okay, so right now, it's resist the temptation to judge, right? We often judge by superficial appearances, what we think we know, that kind of stuff. And when we resist that temptation, there's a much deeper potential for loving connections. Always ask yourself the deeper questions. Okay? So, I said we're going to have fun. So I want to talk about this deep dive because when we talk about it, you know, we're always like, oh, we have to go in and we have to find the hard stuff, and we have to find the things that we need to work on, and we need to work on the things that trigger us and all of that. But today, I want you to dig deep and find out what makes you laugh. Humor is such an important aspect to our personality. What makes you laugh? What do you find funny? And how can we bring that humor to the surface in a very loving way? Okay, so maybe we're going to take a deep dive here, and we're going to reconnect with that part of you that laughs out loud, those belly laughs, those whatever. When was the last time you had a really good belly laugh? When was the last time you said something and someone around you like spit milk out their nose or whatever? Right? So Swan Spirit says, let's take a deep dive. Let's take a deep dive. We have a lot more in common with people than we know, and maybe humor is the way to start that. All right, we have Hocus Pocus. Let's see what Hocus Pocus has to say. This is a fun deck. I just needed some fun, you guys. I just started it took me forever to find a job, and I did. Finally, it's like 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. and it's kicking my ass. Oh, my butt, excuse me. Sorry. So, So I'm having to find the humor in my life right now and figure out my new schedule and all of that. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I'm so happy to be able to bring you these messages every day. And yeah, I'm honored to be with you on your journey. So let's laugh it up a little bit. I feel like we've gotten so serious that we forget that laughter is the best medicine. You know, I believe in frequency healing, and I do think that our laughter has a certain frequency that is healing for ourselves. Now, that is not backed by science, but I know I feel better personally when I can yuck it up and laugh a little bit. Okay? And we have the Ace of Potions coming out. Yeah, there you go. Laugh it up, because guess what? It's going to fill your soul. It's going to fill your heart. The Ace of Potions is the Ace of Cups. This is all about happiness and joy overflowing, right? An abundance of. So when we can reach that depth of joy and laughter and fun, that invites in magic and mystical, magical happenings, and the mystery and the magical part of you sparks the mystery and magical part of somebody else. So you see what I'm getting at? It's kind of a ripple effect. Okay, this is the nature of this reading. You are meant to laugh. You are meant to laugh. Look in your energy. You have the Emperor. Look at him snapping his fingers like that. Okay, there's a lot of maturity with this. There's a lot of wisdom. This is someone who has mastered the realms of the Four Kings. Very balanced energy. Totally switched on. There's charisma. That's in your energy. That's you. Ooh. Keep in mind we have the Nine of Candles, which is that's the Nine of Wands. So, Wounded Warrior. Okay, I know we all say the Wounded Warrior, but it's also a card of healthy boundaries. Okay, when we have situations and people and things, unexpected things come at us, we can kind of start blocking energies, blocking people, like keeping people at arm's length and whatnot. So, but the Nine of Candles, the Nine of Wands, also collects the wisdoms from all those things. So there's a lot of wisdom here. So you've got a lot of wisdom here in this reading already. Okay, so take that wisdom, have some healthy boundaries, and get back to having a little bit of fun. Okay, get back to having a little bit of fun. Yeah. Spread the joy. Spread the joy. Okay, under that Ace of Potions, you have the Seven of Potions. Okay, it could be confusion. It could be possibilities and potential. I believe in this deck, it actually is more about potential, right? A lot of opportunities. So yeah, when we are happy and laughing, and people around us are happy and laughing, good things can happen, right? We're inviting in those really good energies. And you have some incredible energy. Look at the stars coming up underneath that Emperor, right? So it's gonna help you align more with your inner light, your guiding light, your North Star, the direction towards. It's going to maybe put you back in the right direction towards your wishes, dreams, and goals. Okay, this is in your energy. So with it also coming up in your energy, you might be the guiding light or the North Star for others around you, right? If we can dig in and find that way to connect with people in a fun, humorous, belly laughing kind of way, right? then maybe, because the star is also a healer card, so maybe you guys, laughter just heals. It really does. So maybe you're really meant to sort of dig deep and figure out how to communicate with people on more of a fun level. Okay. Digging deep for the funny bone. Isn't that the elbow? The funny bone? Okay. And we have the Nine of Cups coming in, or the Nine of Potions coming up underneath the Nine of Candles. Wow, look at that. Both very independent cards, right? These are solo cards. So the Nine of Potions is all about emotional wish fulfillment, but it's for you. So there's going to be a lot of personal satisfaction. You're going to be, keep in mind, keeping healthy boundaries for yourself, but you're also going to come into this place of emotional wish fulfillment through, being able to connect with people on a more fun level, right? Not just like a work level or, and maybe it's just something silly that you do that, we just don't know how we spark joy in other people, but that does have to sort of come from within, right? Not that it's necessarily about doing it for other people, right? This is for you. This is for you, right? We need joy in our lives right now. Let's laugh. Let's have fun. Let's spread the joy. Let's spread the laughter, because I do believe that's a spotlight. That's that bright flashlight in the darkness. Okay. All right. Yeah. Underneath that Seven of Potions, we have the Three of Lightning coming out. So this is kind of heartbreak. Three of Lightning is the Three of Swords, right? So you might be telling yourself on some level that it's just not worth it. I don't want to connect with anybody. It never works out. Like, this is sort of we can build narratives around the Three of Swords, Three of Lightning, that maybe aren't true. It's like, they're more like blanket statements. Like, something hurt us over here, and now there's a blanket statement that says everything that has to do with that is going to hurt me, right? So now I'm not being dismissive of any heartaches around anything for you, because when we feel things, they're a part of us. The trick is not to allow it to define you. Okay. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge maybe it had a purpose, and then move on. And that can be really hard to do, especially when our heart hurts like that. But I do think that this is really, it's about laughing. It's about having fun. It's about not worrying about what other people think, right? Oh my gosh, and look at your energy. You have the Emperor, the Star, and Temperance. This is divine timing. This is meant for you right now. This is meant for you to sort of unburden yourself and have a good laugh and share it with your friends, share it with people you don't know, right? Walk into a room, little sunshine star there. I know that was kind of a weird sunshine star, sun star. Anyway, you bright light you, and walk into your room and brighten it up. Temperance is a card of patience, so you may have had to go through some things in order to get to this place where you can sort of unload the burdens and feel a little bit lighter, and it is divine timing. Temperance is all about patience, it's all about moderation, and it's about divine timing. All right? Seems to me that you are a bit of a gift here with those cards in your energy. And it seems like now is the time, especially with Temperance coming out in your energy, now is the time to sort of express yourself in a way that's very authentic to you. And you're funny. You're a very, very funny person. Are you, I don't know, are you a comedian? Are you just, you're just quick-witted and, maybe you stopped doing that because you thought people didn't get you or understand you, but who cares? Do it anyway. Go have fun. Here we have the king of, wow, the king of pumpkins. That's the king of pentacles. Maybe you are a comedian. Are you doing stand-up? You should be. This seems like it just got really specific for someone, so I'm not sure who that was for. But that leads to an incredible stability in the material world, right? Finances and material good, whatever it is that you need in the material world, whatever you want, there's the king. Now, the king understands hard work too, but also at the same time understands how to play. Okay, the king of pumpkins, the king of pentacles, knows when the day is done, right? Clocking out, go have fun. Heck yeah. I love this. This is fun. I needed a fun reading today, and I actually can kind of relate to this reading a little bit. Oh my goodness. And we have the king of candles. What is happening? Very charismatic. Maybe there's someone around you. Maybe you need to step into the king of candles, right? Which is the king of wands. And I love the fiery, creative energy, self-confident, independent energy of the king of candles. Now, trailblazer, rule breaker, outlaw, all in a good way, right? Maybe that's where your humor is coming from. Maybe you look at situations from a different perspective, and you can say them in a way that sort of opens people's minds a little bit, but in a humorous way, right? There are many, many ways to reach your goals. You can take a path that is rigid and strict, unbending, oppressive, or you can laugh it up and bounce across the top, right? I just totally had a flash of Finding Nemo when they're in the jellyfish thing and they're doing the boing, 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 boing across the top of the jellyfish to get through it and not get stung. And they made a game of it. I don't know. That's for someone. That might be for me. I don't know. I think this reading might be this pile number one. I claim you. I claim you. I claim you. I claim you. Okay, yeah, we have the Two of Lightning, which is the Two of Swords. So you've got a decision to make. You can either curmudgeon or you can laugh. And this whole reading, especially with this beautiful energy in you know, that's showing up for you with that Emperor, that Star, and the Temperance, like you know the path to take. Yuck it up a little bit. Have some fun, right? Things go faster if you're, you know, if you have a task that you have to do that's not fun at all. Laugh, just have fun through it. Dance, sing, laugh, joke with your coworkers, or, you know, through the situation, or find the funny in it. Find the funny in you, right? Do that deep dive and find the funny in you. That's really, really important. And yeah, we have transformation. It's gonna change things for you if you can get a different perspective. Okay, transformation. This is the Death card, so this is a death and rebirth. Like, it's gonna bring you to this really cool, fun kind of place. I mean, yeah. On bottom of the deck is the Chariot, so it's yeah, overcoming obstacles. So yeah, so maybe a situation around you right now isn't the greatest. So find your humor, dance and laugh. Make other people, I mean, other people are going to laugh at you anyway. I mean, not in a bad way, but because you're funny. And there's something about this, with this this energy, pile number one, that is going to change the energy, is going to unblock energy. It's going to open doors. It's going to show you a path that you might not have seen before, right? Moving forward. All right. Pile number one, I love it. Please go laugh and have fun. Because people are going to laugh and have fun with you. All right, I think that's the important message. So thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe, share with your besties, and I will see you next time. Welcome, pile number two. And your card of focus is White Raven Spirit. Okay, it says trust in the magic. See, I told you these were going to be fun readings today. Okay. So nothing in the universe is random, okay? There is an intricate web of co-creation happening. It weaves together everything, all the events, all the situations, all the meetings, the encounters, right? And it's done that since the beginning of time. Okay? Coincidences have meaning. And when the white raven spirit like shows up for you today in this reading as your card of focus, it's telling you to pay attention to the synchronicities around you, because you might start recognizing the patterns, right? Even the winds dance in a pattern. So when we align with the highest good, we understand that white raven is actually guiding us. It's actually an ally to you and a messenger from spirit. And you're going to start recognizing how everything is working together harmoniously in ways that your eye can't necessarily see and that your mind can't necessarily comprehend. But things are happening right now on your behalf. And they're bringing you magic and miracles that are your birthright. So just trust in the magic of the world. I know sometimes that can be hard, right? Because it is literally everywhere and in all things. And pay attention about how things kind of come together for you. Sometimes they do seem quite magical. All right? Magic is afoot with white raven spirit. I absolutely love this card. I'm going to move it a little closer just so you can see the detail in the artwork. White raven spirit is bringing you white raven magic and some understanding of how things are interconnected. I think you understand that, but I think we forget it, right? Especially when things don't seem to be working out for us, and then we focus on things that don't work out for us. But as I've said before, and if you've seen my readings, I actually say it quite often, when things don't work out, some things do, right? So look at every situation that's not working out. In that situation, what did? That's the important part, right? I have the Pulp Tarot today. Feeling a little spicy. Magic is afoot. I don't know if you can feel it swirling around. White Raven was talking about pay attention and watch for patterns. Patterns. Pattern. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited to be able to bring you this reading today. And honored to be with you on your journey. Thank you for inviting me along. Please take it as it resonates. It is a reading for the general collective, so it may not be for everybody. You'll know this is a good opportunity for you to practice your discernment. You'll know if it's for you or not. Again, pile number 1, I was like, oh, this is for me. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see what where this magic is taking you. And I do believe when we have our eyes and our ears and our hearts open to the magic, that the mystical magical that swirls around us, that it unblocks energy and it reveals a path. Okay. It may just be a little teeny thing. It may be a big thing, but it does reveal to us. And look at that. Yes, so overcoming obstacles, right? We were just talking about understanding, having your eyes, your ears, your heart open to the swirling, mystical, magical of happenings around you. And here we have, and talking about how that can unblock energies. And here we have the Chariot, which is about overcoming obstacles. Okay, now in the mundane, it could be a car. you know, maybe you're getting a car, maybe there's something about a car. But with this particular reading today, and we're staying on the fun topic of fun and laughter and all those good things, pay attention to the magic. It's going to like get you over the hump of something. Okay? Heck yeah. Ooh, in your energy, look at that. You have the Seven of Swords. So you're not so trusting of the mystical magical right now. You know, White Raven says it's not always something that we can see with our eyes or comprehend with our mind, but it is happening. But I understand not trusting that things are going to work out. I've been in situations where I just didn't even know how I was going to get out of it. Right? And in those times, that it more than anything is when we need to dive into the magic of the world around us. I have learned, as opposed to just shutting everything off, right? Because that creates restrictions and limitations. So this is in your energy. So there's a little bit of a distrust. I get it. Right? Maybe you've been working really hard for something and it's not showing up, and it can create that little bit of a divide. But you're being asked, you know, with White Raven, to stay open and understand that even if you can't see it or understand it, it is happening. You have the Queen of Wands coming out in the keep in mind. Okay. Fiery, juicy, creative. I almost feel like this Queen of Wands is out to represent the energy of the mystical magical around you right now, right? The magic happenings. It's happening. The thing with the mystical magical too is that it's unpredictable. Like you can't predict how it's going to go, because that's a form of control. And the Queen of Wands energy can be unpredictable, because guess what? They don't always follow tradition or the way things are supposed to be, right? We talk about things in the way they're supposed to be, to make us feel a little safer, to label the unknown, to give us guidance that ends up being, like I said, restrictive. Okay, so the Queen of Wands energy is very creative, very fiery, juicy, independent, doesn't care what other people think, but also a very creative trailblazer, kind of the outlaw, right? Having fun on the way to the goal, trusting in the mystical magical. Look at with her little black cat there. This looks like my little jelly bean, my little rescue cat. Oh my goodness sakes. Yeah, there's stuff happening around you right now. Let's look at this Chariot card. What's happening here? Trust in the magic. Yeah, you have the Three of Cups. You have an incredible group of people around you, a supportive group, fun. Look at them, they're having fun. Maybe they're having margaritas or something. Or juice. The good juice. Yeah. It's a card of celebration. So whatever this is, you know, maybe there's something right now that you're struggling with. Please stay open, because there is something swirling around you right now. You have the Six of Cups coming up in your energy. Yeah, so something's either coming back around, or this is, you know, past memories, whatever. You know, what coming up with this betrayal card, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, so maybe this has happened a lot. Maybe you've known where you wanted to go in your life, and then you end up someplace else, and you're like, what? How did I get here? Right? Now, the Six of Cups is typically good memories. It can also be past life memories. So you might be... Take a look at those again, all right? If you've got some old haunts, whatever, There's probably something good in them. And this also, you know, yeah. Yeah, so I think in your memories, if you go back and look, I think you're going to be able to see some patterns, right? You're going to see where the magic happened. That's why this is in your energy. This is really important for you to do in order to sort of get back to just trusting how things unfold. Now, that doesn't mean that you just sit there and let things happen around you, right? We have to take actionable, inspired steps. But there are things that we have to do. We have to move in life, right? But I bet if you go back, you're going to see a pattern of magic. Oh, that's what this is. I totally just got goosebumps. You're going to be able to look back and see the magic. And then we have the Six of Swords. Then you're going to be able to move on, right? The Six of Swords is moving on. Now, there's typically someone that helps you do that, okay? The person who's guiding the boat. But it's about moving on. It's moving away from things. It's moving away from sort of that energy of the Five of Swords. And with this, now you can put your attention towards what's on the other shore, like what's across the water. You're moving into calmer waters. It's discovery. There's going to be exploration into new things, and it's good, especially coming up underneath this Queen of Wands, right? I think it's really important for you right now to look back at all the good things, well, and the bad things too. I mean, there's a pattern. There's a pattern for you. There's a pattern of magic in your life. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. There is a pattern in your life. Okay, we had two cards that came out that flipped, so I'm going to take them both. So we have the World. Yeah. Yeah, I think that you're coming to this conclusion, which means you're also ending this karmic cycle, right? The World isn't ending. I think it's really important for you to understand the magic in your life. And Temperance also came out with the World. So it was divine timing. Like, you had to go through things. You had to ride the highs and the lows, the peaks and the valleys of, you had to. There's no other way to say it. Temperance is about patience too. So you had to sort of like get through these things. But yeah, you've definitely had magic in your life. The mystical, magical. It is around you. It is around you. Yeah, in your memory is the Five of Wands. Okay. That's just how it came out of my mouth. All right. So the Five of Wands is sort of debate, conflict. Now it can be with people around you, but it can also be internally. Right? So you may be having a debate about the magic and if it's real or not with people around you. You may be struggling with getting back to a realization or back to a place where you can just sort of accept the magic in your life as it is and understand the patterns of it. Okay? And we have the Nine of Wands. So yeah, you've definitely been through a lot. And I understand. This is sort of the Wounded Warrior card of the deck. But so you've been through a lot. And I understand when we go through a lot and you know, it's exhausting. And when we get exhausted by life, we just shut it off, right? White Raven Spirit is asking you to stay open to the magic because there's something coming, right? The White Raven is also, remember, a messenger of spirit. Now, the Nine of Wands is also about creating healthy boundaries. Okay, so this might be part of what you need to do. In this card, you can see like these characters over here are looking for her, but she's built, with all of her wisdom, she's built this wall against the things that can hurt her in the background. Now, this is a healthy boundary. This is not just like shutting everybody out and everything out. This is using the discernment, the wisdom that a wounded warrior collects to see things that aren't meant for us as they approach us, right? Things that aren't good for us, things that are not for our best and highest good. So, that being said, you have the wisdom, like, yeah. If you have this kind of wisdom in your life, then you absolutely understand why things have happened, right? For the best and highest. And you're going to be able to see the patterns. There's a pattern. There's a pattern. Go find that pattern. That pattern's important to you right now. Look at your past. You're going to see. Get a big piece of paper and put it on the wall. Or if you have a giant like a dry erase board, right? And map out your life. You're going to see, and then circle all the places that the magic happened. You're going to see a pattern. I guarantee you, you're going to see a pattern. That is so cool. All right, let's see if anything else. I mean, I think it's a pretty great message, honestly. Pile number 1 was all about laughter. This one's all about the magic. Whoa. Okay, well, yeah, you're gonna see the pattern. You're gonna understand things. Things are gonna click into place. Of course, it's gonna be a tower moment, right? Because there's a deep understanding that's going to come with revisiting plot points in your life, right? In the story of your life. It's going to change your perceptions. It's going to change how you think. There are going to be things in your life, whether thoughts that you have or people, places, whatever, that aren't going to align anymore. And you're going to rebuild your tower on a stronger foundation. Okay? When that magic starts rolling in like that, it does illuminate a path or multiple paths, right? Remember the Queen of Wands, there's 101 ways or 1,001 ways or 1,000,001 ways to get to where you want to go. You have to decide whether you want it to be in this sort of oppressive, institutional, restrictive, limited way, or do you want to be like the Queen of Wands and be a trailblazer? And be like, yeah, I'm going to get where I'm going, but did you see that roadside attraction? I got to stop because I've never seen that before, right? So have fun on this journey and stay open to the magic, right? White Raven is telling you point blank to stay open and watch the signs. You are about to see a pattern. Woo-hoo-hoo. One last card. Yeah, the Empress came out. Yeah. Everything's going to make sense. Your heart's going to be overflowing. So much abundance, beauty, nature, all of those good, yummy things. And then, of course, the Empress is the cornucopia, right? She's all about abundance, overflowing abundance. And then you can share with other people, right? If we can get everybody on that same wavelength of understanding the energies and how they work and that they're always working. And then we embrace the understanding of the patterns within it, we become more aware, right? We start paying more attention to the signs and synchronicities. We see the magic in every little blade of grass. We see the magic in every cloud in the sky. We see the magic when we look in the mirror and see our reflection. Okay? All right, you guys. Pile number 2, thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe. Enjoy the magic. share with your besties, and I will see you next time. Okay, welcome pile number 3, and your card of focus is Bobcat Spirit, and it says life is a mystery. Look at the artwork, look at the detail. It's gorgeous. Okay, so yeah, life is a mystery. Okay, and a bobcat moves furtively and mysteriously, and is a powerful reminder that not all things can be explained or understood through the power of your intellect. So, you know, trying to figure things out based on reason and facts is not going to provide you right now with the certainty and comfort that you're looking for. So the bobcat is really asking that you trust in the great mystery, right? Life is a mystery. And allow the secrets of the universe to kind of reveal themselves through your direct experience. Okay? Allow your vision to slip into a soft focus, like if you're looking at a beautiful painting, right? And you want to just soften and experience the nuances of the different layers and the brushstrokes, that kind of thing. And when you do that, you're going to be able to see between the lines and observe what's been hidden from you, from your sight, because it's been there all along. Bobcat Spirit helps you trust in the wisdoms and the revelations that are going to come to you. Bobcat Spirit also helps you accept that secrecy is woven into the fabric of existence. You know how much I love to talk about the fabric, right? The mystical, magical of the fabric. So no matter what, the appearance of Bobcat Spirit as your card of focus, it's a sign that you're being called to trust, even when what is revealed to you doesn't agree with your need for intellectual certainty. Even when what you like, we're constantly in this place of trying to logically explain the mysteries and the mystical, magical of the cosmos, of the energies, of everything around us. So the bobcat is asking you to just trust that sometimes your logic isn't right when it comes to sort of otherworldly, mystical, magical. Sometimes you just have to trust. All right? Life is a mystery. It might be necessary to just embrace it for what it is, right? Soften the gaze. Allow a softer experience. Allow the trust. I'm using the Deviant Moon. I love this deck. I love the art. I think the artist is absolutely amazing. Now, I know some people can find it like some people just don't like the imagery, but I think it's this cool, like, obviously Deviant Moon, so there's a lot of moons in it, and like steampunkish, right? Patrick Valenza, I think, is who did it, the artist. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored to be with you on your journey, and so honored to be able to bring you these messages every day. So please take it as it resonates. You'll know if it fits or not, okay? Practice your discernment. Practice makes perfect. All right. Let's dig into this. Life is a mystery. Didn't Madonna sing a song, Life's a Mystery? Okay, so right out of the gate, we have the Five of Pentacles. Now, this is hardship, struggle, right? Look at this figure is kind of coming around the corner, like sneaking a little bit, but there's also this eyeball in this building watching. And so what this is, so fives are a breakthrough, right? We know that it's coming out of this sort of hardship, struggle energy. And, you know, behind, well, this little eye in this, it's a church basically in the background. And you can see that the lights are on. You can see there's a sanctuary, right? But this person is kind of leaving all of that behind. So it's possible it could have just been a perception, a perceived sanctuary. Maybe it was safe for a little while and now it's time to move on, right? So it's leaving this behind. Now, pentacles are of the material world. So you could be struggling with material world foundational issues. You know, maybe it's time to leave this situation, and you know, maybe you got a job, maybe there's something coming. I like the representation of the eye within the church, like watching what's going on, you know, because there's always sort of that big brother feeling with this particular card, right? So right out of the gate, we have some struggle and some hardship, okay? In your energy, though, look, the Queen of Wands. You are fiery and juicy and creative and beautiful. You understand, as the Queen of Wands, that things move in mysterious ways. Mystery is no surprise to you, okay? So it seems to be like maybe what's happening here, you know, is that a hardship or a struggle has sort of pulled you from that a little bit, or some kind of experience of struggle or hardship has pulled you out of maybe some of your belief. Keep in mind, we have the Death card. So this is a death and transformation, death and rebirth, I'm sorry, a card of transformation, right? So something is shifting for you here. Something is going to shift you out of this hardship here. All right, life is a mystery. Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. It's time to trust. It's time to have fun in that trust. This pile seems a little slightly more serious than 1 and 2. 1 and 2 were actually pretty fun, but I think we're going to find the fun in this because that's what this reading is about. Okay? Maybe the character in this 5 of Pentacles understands it's time to go, because whatever this perceived security is over here doesn't feel good. It's not helping the situation. Maybe it's too much pressure, or, you know, I don't know. Like I said, institutional rules and restrictions and limitations and whatnot, but it's a card of bravery too. I think it is. It takes a lot to leave a safe situation, whether it's good for you or not, okay? But it is movement. It's movement away. Yeah, underneath that 5 of Pentacles comes the Queen of Swords. Yeah, so the Queen of Swords has been through a lot. Notice the tear, right? Little blood on the sword there, dripping. The Queen worked really hard and battled really hard to sit upon the throne that she sits upon, okay? The world has not been kind. And a lot of people forget that, you know, when they say, oh, the Queen is so cold, she's so cold. Well, the world was cold to the Queen. Now, the Queen has not closed off to the world. That's the other thing with the Queen of Swords, all right? You know, in traditional decks, you'll see that she has the Sword of Truth upright in one hand, and the other hand is open to humanity. What has happened, though, is she's learned the truth. She swings that sword of truth, and she can see the truth of a situation coming from a mile away. So you can't really put one over on a Queen of Swords, nor should you. Because while, you know, queens all have some sort of compassion within them, and so does the Queen of Swords, she'll cut you if you mess with her. So there's something around this leaving, this hardship and struggle. Okay, maybe there's a Queen of Swords helping you. Maybe you had to step into your role, your leadership role, okay, to remove yourself from whatever this is, right? Now, it's interesting that we're talking about Bobcat spirit and life is a mystery, and you know, the Queen of Swords comes up in the nature of this reading. Okay, so there might be a truth around your current situation that you need to honor, but that doesn't mean disconnecting from the mystery, right? Okay, under that Queen of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords, so that's a lot of pain, but it's also an ending to the pain. So, trust. I know it's so hard. Sometimes some of my favorite readers are like, you're just gonna have to trust the process, and I just want to like scream in a jar. We used to do that. We called it primal scream therapy. But it's an ending. So this pain is ending, and I think this pain is ending because you're walking away from some sort of struggle here. Okay, you're swinging that sort of truth. You're understanding the situation for what it is. Okay, but do not disconnect from the mystery of life. That's the whole point, right? This is changing you. This is changing you. This is death and transformation. When we have the death card come up, that's karmic, right? It's already woven. Actually, that's not true. It is the direction you're going. This particular reading says keep that in mind. This is a transformation for you. Under that card, we have the Strength card. So you've mastered those lower vibrational, emotional energies. Okay, you know where they come from. You can acknowledge them and let them go. Don't overreact. Just be. We don't have to fight about everything. But the thing with the Strength card is, not only is it that control over those lower vibrational energies, it's understanding the higher vibrational energies of the higher self, right? And it's about courage. Remember, it takes a lot of courage for that Five of Pentacles to walk away from that perceived security. Yeah. Okay. Wow. And you have the King of Wands is also coming up under the nature of this reading. So yet another trailblazer. You're going to have to do things a little differently. You're going to have to embrace the uncertainty. You're going to have to allow that mystical magical to unfold. Before you're going to have to trust. Sorry. There it is. And you've got the King and the Queen of Wands out here. So this is really important for you to step back into that place of awe and wonder of the things around you. And understand, we have the King of Wands coming out right on top of that Queen of Swords. It's okay to have a logical mind. It's a great balance to have the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. All right, that's an amazing balance. Because you have someone who can discern and see the truth and understand the logic of things, but you also have this creative energy of the King, who's a trailblazer, laughs in the face of convention. Let us laugh in the face of convention. You have the Moon coming out under in your energy. Now, the Moon can be an illusion. It can hide things. It can also illuminate things. The Moon is all about the mystical magical and working in the realm of the mystical magical, right? I like in this particular deck, it looks like the characters are puppets for the Moon. Rightly so, because it's a very emotional card. Now, this is coming out in your energy. Okay. Maybe there's someone else pulling the strings a little bit right now. Maybe there's someone yanking your chain, poking the bear, right? Maybe you're trying to understand the situation logically, but you can't. You have to put logic aside. You have to embrace the mystical magical of the Moon. Trust yourself as well. Usually with the Moon, we have ideas that bubble up from our subconscious mind, and it may be a thought or an idea that comes in and seems familiar. Maybe it's a little bit of deja vu. So pay attention to those things right now. This is in your energy, so this is happening. All right? And it's happening around this ending. It's happening in your fiery, creative, independent, self-confident energy of that Queen of Wands. Okay? Yeah, something's going to break loose for you, but you're going to have to stop thinking about your situation logically. Yeah. Wow. This is like beautiful reading. I mean, I know it is beautiful. It is beautiful. So, and we have the 8 of Swords coming up under strength. Okay. We just were talking about how the logical mind can sort of block energies. The logical mind can also create restrictions and limitations. Like when we totally block out any kind of fun, things that are working in the shadows, things that we may not see, things that we might not detect with our eye, things that we don't understand, we immediately turn to logic so we can explain it away, right? So all of those things are limitations on your thinking. They're limited, and they're blocking precious energy from coming in, right? Understand that life is a mystery. Life is a mystery. So also with that 8 of Swords, that's typically something that we do to ourselves. It's not something that somebody else did per se, or at least not directly. It can be, sometimes it's a thought process or a thought pattern or a belief system that was kind of implanted in us at a young age. And, sometimes we adopt those for our own without understanding like where they actually came from and why we were actually taught those things. Beliefs change. People change. Ideas change. Situations and circumstances change. And our thinking, we should be adaptable to logical shifts. Sometimes we have to let things go. Right? Our Death card. Oh, wait, is that the Death card? Yeah. So, our next card out, I was getting ready to flip it over when I paused for a second, is the 5 of Wands. So there's conflict, right? There's debate. There's competition. So it's easy to get caught up in these things, when we're coming at it from a logical mind. Obviously, this is Wands, so it's definitely more of a creative energy. But yeah, your belief system isn't something that you have to debate. It's not something that you should have to stand up for. We all have a different belief system. And they're all uniquely different. So it feels like this debate around, being less logical minded and more accepting of how things unfold cosmically doesn't have to be this debate, but it's coming up. I mean, it's showing up. The card is showing up. Maybe you're having some internal conflict. It's possible. All right, let's go ahead and get one more. I mean, this has been a really interesting reading, okay? Bobcat Spirit. Be open to the magic. Be open to the mystery. Things happen that we can't explain. Things in life happen that we can't explain. Oh my goodness sakes. And with that, here comes the Sun. Joy. I mean, the Sun is nurturing, it's warm, it's healing, it's all those things. We get so much goodness from the Sun. There's a story with this card. I can't quite remember it, but it's like the two twins, the twins finding each other again under the sun and basking in the sun rays, at the fact that they did really find each other. There's a story. I'll have to look into that. But basically, that is the life force. That's the brightest card in the deck. And you have the Empress as well. Okay, so a lot of abundance, a lot of it. There are good things happening. You're definitely walking away from some kind of a situation, and you've been really logical about it. But you're kind of, you know, or you may, yeah, I mean, sorry. Bobcat Spirit is really saying it's time to step away from the logic and just understand that sometimes things happen that we can't explain. And the more we do that, the more it'll happen. And the more it happens, the more understanding we have, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us. Okay? Something to consider. All right, so embrace that Bobcat Spirit. I'm just trying to decide if I want to do another card or not. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So, yeah. Okay. All right, pile number three, that is your message. Thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe, share with your besties, and I will see you next time.